And I like the word self-acceptance. That doesn't mean I like everything. You know, that doesn't mean, hey, I'm a wonderful, fantastic person. I've got my good points. I have my bad days.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Andy. I'm here with Lives on the Registry for another edition of Registry Talks. Today, I have a special guest with us today who I've had the pleasure of getting to know. I'm here with Don. How are you doing, Don?
I'm doing great, Andy. Thanks for inviting me.
I just wanted to just get into a little bit, about some of the conversations we had. One of the things that's really, fascinating about all these different people I get the chance to speak with, it's just the different hobbies and the different things that they do. I'd like to talk to you a bit about, just how creativity, frankly, has changed your life. Could you get into a little bit about that?
Sure, I'd be glad to. It's very important to me, and I like to be able to share it with people. So, I mean, I've always done things creatively to some extent, but so back, it's been 11, 12 years ago, back right after my offense, when I was down in a kind of in the dumps, I decided, what do I really want to do with my life? And it was to create. So I've tried a lot of different things creating to get there and kind of build on each other. But where I'm at right now goes back, I'm 67, so it goes back about 8 years ago. I started playing Native American flute, which was the Native American flute is a challenge because it's only an octave. You can't, there's a very short range. There's certain notes you can't get. It's hard to play in tune. And I finally been able to move past all those problems and found two friends to work on how I can actually tie it into it. And I absolutely love it. Not only playing music, but with both of these people, I'm actually writing music, and we're writing it to record and to do some things and doing some playing in front of people. And it's been a phenomenal experience.
Well, that's quite interesting. The thing is, I've heard a lot of people play instruments, but you took up this instrument at how old were you when you took
I
up this?
was 59, I believe, when I started playing. I was looking for an instrument to play by myself. And guitar was a little complex. I didn't want to get into that. And I played saxophone growing up, so I had a little music background. With saxophone, I didn't think it was a good instrument to play by yourself, and they're expensive. So I tried Native American flute and I tried harmonica at the same time. And flute's the one that stuck. Part of it is, I think that, so when you play it, you feel really good. I don't know if you've ever done any yoga, any pranayama, or breath work or anything, even meditation. When to calm yourself down, you take a short inhale and a long exhale. And that's what you're doing when you play the flute. So you play for about 10 minutes and you feel really good. And it took me a couple of years to realize that. But so I started doing that, and it was more for myself and just to play with that. And it's kind of morphed into a lot of different directions after that. But I was 59 when I started.
That's really fascinating. I think it's really great that you're able to find just something that really just gives you, a sense of purpose, but also to work with other people. So when you work or when you play with other people, are you the person that usually takes the lead in that, or is it kind of just a discussion that you have beforehand?
So that's an excellent question. So I reached out to both of these people because I wanted to play and go beyond that. But with both of us, there's a lot of give and take. A lot of the music, like one of the people he's about 60 years old. He's a music professor. He's played guitar forever. And the way we'll come up with songs is that he'll put together a guitar part, give me the chords because I'm not familiar to improvise the chords. So he'll come up with a guitar part and he'll record it. And then I will write the song from that. So he kind of starts us on that song. The other guy that I play with, we both play multiple instruments, and it'll be one of us to come up with an idea. So there's a lot of give and take. And that's one of the things that's been phenomenal about it, about the creating, is it with music, is that it's something I've always been able to involve other people. I've taught classes in how to play flute for several years. I probably had between 50 and 55 people take it's a workshop like doing that. And I played for a lot of yoga classes. Involving people has been very important to what I'm doing.
Well, absolutely. So that sounds like it's quite the journey for you. So when you started becoming creative, let me rephrase that. So is there an element of self-acceptance that comes with being creative in these situations?
Oh, yes, that's an excellent question again. Yes. The reason I couldn't before, I mean, I've done photography and done a lot of things over the years, and I'd run into a wall and stop. But there's self-acceptance is huge. Dealing with uncertainty is huge. And there's self-acceptance ties into that. First of all, you have to accept that what you're doing is what you're doing. You know, you're not doing it for somebody else. So you have to accept that. This is what I enjoy doing. It may not be what I chose, but this is what I enjoy doing. So there's acceptance in that. And there's also acceptance in not judging the work that you put out there. You know, when I mentioned there's a guy that I know that was interviewing a bunch of people on how do you get from suck to success in creating. You know, his idea was how do you get past that initial problems when you're playing badly. And there's acceptance in that. You have to accept that this is what I'm doing. There's, you know, I'm a beginner. This is what I can do. This is what I'm playing.
I've heard a lot of people that, you know, they develop you know, a new hobby in very difficult times, but also just the fact that you've seemed to have gotten to this place of self-acceptance. So where would you say you are right now in terms of the spectrum of self-acceptance in your own life?
My self-acceptance is very high. And I like the word self-acceptance. That doesn't mean I like everything. You know, that doesn't mean, hey, I'm a wonderful, fantastic person. I've got my good points. I have my bad days, but I accept it. I guess one thing that I've learned that we talked about a little bit earlier is that it's very important to me in life now to be in the moment and focus on what the next step is. And self-acceptance is part of that I can take that next step and I'll figure out what it is. But I've also, like, I've learned that through the music, it's interesting that I've got 4 good friends that I hang around with. 2 are musicians and 2 we do other things. And I hang around with them all one-on-one. And I am a very much one-on-one person. I'm not a party person. You know, you get to even 4 or 5 people. That's not my thing. I don't like going to parties, but I'm also not a loner. And it took me to get into this to figure out what do I really do? What do I really like? And I really like one-on-one working with people. I like talking to you today, Andy.
Oh, absolutely. I like talking to me too sometimes.
I do talk myself a lot. Yeah.
Well, that's, you know, it's another concept of self-acceptance that you know, I'm sure that you could, you know, agree with, is that the self-talk that we tell ourselves. And I think that, you know, what I'm hearing from you is that there's a lot of self-talk and self-acceptance that has to go into just being creative in general.
Well, there is. I mean, the self-talk still goes on. The negative talk still goes on. I don't know. It seems like that we're programmed to focus on negative things. So I still get negative self-talk, and it's not going away.
Well, absolutely. So I guess, you know, from hearing all of this, you know, what do you feel is the next progression in, I guess, your creative endeavors and also just your life in general? What do you feel like the next progression is?
So the next progression is I give myself some kind of goal. So I recorded a CD about 2 years ago, a flute playing. And I have a friend that had a studio that did some percussion. We recorded something. So when I was 67, I need some type of a goal, even though I do want to focus on what the next step is. It's nice to have some idea where you're heading. So I decided when I'm 70, I'm going to record another CD, but I'm going to play flute and percussion, and I'm going to get into some digital music. I'm doing a little bit to do that. So it's a 3-year goal, which gives me plenty of time the next steps can be whatever the next steps are to work towards that, to develop my musical ability. And I've also, one of the things I decided probably last winter, when things opened up from COVID, I want to get back and I want to start playing at some open mics, which I've done. So one of the main reasons is to meet people to interact with. And that's been very important in doing the creative work, is you need to spend time by yourself, but it's really important to have somebody to work with or to share it with that really cares about it.
You know, so grateful to have this opportunity to speak with you. And, you know, before I let you go, is there anything that you want to say to other people in similar situations as ourselves?
Yeah, there's 2 things that have helped me. One is there's a lot of negative out in the world out there. And there's a lot of negative in your life probably. But you need to focus on what do you find that you can do that you enjoy. You need to find something you enjoy. It's really crucial, something to get up in the morning. Where, like now, my music is that. And there have been other things. So it's important that you find something like that. You accept what is. And it's something it's something you can have, something in your life you can control. There's so many things we can't control. But my music, I can get up and play my flute and play whatever I want and play whenever I want. And I write music, I can write whatever I want. And that's hugely important to have with all the things that are swirling around us, it's really important to have something you can control.
I see that with you. So I just want to say it's been such a privilege, Don.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Andy. Thanks for sharing me, allowing me this opportunity. I'm the same with you. learn to decide who I want in my life, which people add to my life, and that's the type of people I'm looking for.
This is Brenda Jones, Executive Director of NARSOL. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, check out our other Lives on the Registry videos. If you want to know more, visit narsol.org and check out the Resources tab. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for future notifications. See you again soon.